Hey, what's going on? I currently just platinumed Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I thought I'd give my final thoughts on the game, and I'm gonna get straight into it. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a solid game, but it isn't a great Assassin's Creed installment. Um, for me personally, one of the big appeals was that, they were claiming that game was going to go back to its roots. Um, and in some ways they did. The way the missions were executed, the way the story was delivered, yeah, that went back to its roots for the most part. However, for me, and I would venture for many others, part of going back to its roots for Assassin's Creed is to go back to its counter combat system, which this game doesn't do. It instead introduced probably the worst combat system in the main installment uh, of the series. And the story is just as bad as all the stories have been of recent time. There's no real. You don't feel accomplished by the time you finish everything. Um, One area where I can give the game credit is it didn't have as many glitches as Assassin's Creed releases have had in previous years of late. It does have glitches, and it's got plenty of them. I encountered plenty of glitches where I would be with an enemy, no one else around, and yet some innocent would notice me assassinate the person on a rooftop. It's like, Superman was ratting me out or something. I had instances where I got stuck on a ledge and I couldn't get off, and I had to load in order to get out of the situation. I had the game freeze on me when I crossed the stream at one point. Um, I had situations where the enemies, I would whistle and the enemies would like acknowledge that they heard the whistle, but they wouldn't come towards me. They just walk back and ignore it and like reset. There were enemies that would not hear the whistle or completely ignore it altogether. So there's plenty of glitches, but it's just not as bad as previous installments of Assassin's Creed games. Um, I, for me, I think this is my final Assassin's Creed, unless they really change things up, because everybody is on the on the Souls and Elden Ring and those type of games. They're all on that bandwagon, and I don't think Assassin's Creed ever needed to go down that path. I think Assassin's Creed had its own it had its own healthy following. The people that enjoyed the way the combat was, the way the game was. I think the biggest thing Assassin's Creed really needs to bring back is the combat and put a story back into the game that is cohesive and enjoyable. I think those are two major flaws within the franchise that need to be corrected and to change course, because they're just making a lot of bad decisions when it comes to a franchise that should be flourishing and instead is on the decline, in my opinion. But overall, solid game, but not a good Assassin's Creed game. Um, if you care to discuss, leave a comment down below. Other than that, keep on gaming.